Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle something that can feel, well, pretty complicated: Singapore's social support system. We're going to turn that tangled web of schemes into a simple, clear map you can actually use.
You know that feeling? You hear about all these government support schemes, but trying to figure them out feels like you're lost in a giant maze. So many different paths, signs that don't make sense. Trust me, you are not alone in feeling that way.
But what if we could turn that maze into a map? That's exactly what we're going to do in this explainer. We'll lay out a simple framework so you can see what help is out there, all based on what you actually need in your life. We're going to clear up that confusion for good.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with boosting your career. Then we'll get into help for daily life and getting around. After that, I'll show you the master keys that unlock a lot of this help. And finally, we'll cover that all-important first step.
Okay, first up, boosting your career. This is huge because it's really all about investing in people. It's about empowering lower-wage workers to get new skills and bump up their income. And think about it. That doesn't just change one person's life. It helps build a stronger economy for everyone. So the big one here is the Workfare Skills Support Scheme, or WSS for short. It's specifically for Singaporean workers who are 30 years old or older and earning up to $3,000 a month.
And when we say support, we mean support. This can be a total game changer. Just look at this number. If you're thinking about a major career shift, like going for a full-on diploma or degree, the WSS Level-Up Programme can give you up to $18,000 a year. That's to help cover your living costs while you're focused on studying. So the WSS scheme actually has two different tracks, depending on what you need. You've got Level Up on one side. That's for the big, deep dive training. Think major career changes. And then there's Basic on the other side. That's perfect if you're already employed and just want to add some new skills with shorter courses.
All right, so that's careers. But support doesn't stop there, right? It bleeds into our daily lives. So next up, help with daily life. We're talking about easing the load when it comes to household bills, caregiving, and even just staying connected online.
And it's not just a single pot of money. It's a whole toolkit of help designed for the real challenges families face every day. We're talking help with caregiving costs, getting the right technology, paying bills, digital access for your home, and even help with groceries.
Let's take a look at a great example, the Home Caregiving Grant. This is a straight-up monthly cash payout, either $250 or $400, to help with the costs of care. It's there for families who are looking after a loved one who has significant needs in their daily activities. Okay, you'll hear this term a lot, assistive technology. So what is it really? Well, simply put, it's any tool that helps a person with disabilities live more independently. It could be anything from hearing aids and wheelchairs to special software for a computer. And this is where it gets really practical. There's something called the Assistive Technology Fund, or ATF. It helps make these life-changing devices affordable. The fund can cover up to 90% of the cost, and there's a lifetime cap of $40,000 per person. That's a huge help.
Okay, so we've covered support at home, but accessibility is also about being able to get out and about, right? So let's look at our next section, support for getting around. This is all about making transport easier and more affordable.
And just like with other areas, the help here is really tailored. For daily public transport, there's the PWD concession card, which gives you big discounts on fares. If you need more specialized transport, say for school or a care center, the enabling transport subsidy can cover up to 80% of that cost. And there's even a taxi subsidy scheme for those who are medically unable to take public transport.
All right, this next part is absolutely crucial. We've talked about a bunch of different schemes, right? But what if I told you that many of them are unlocked by just a couple of common requirements? Let's talk about the keys that unlock all this help. Seriously, I want you to think of these as two master keys. Once you get your head around these two ideas, the whole system just clicks. It becomes so much easier to navigate because you'll start seeing these same two keys pop up over and over again. So what are these master keys? First up, we have means testing. This one is all about your financial situation. It basically looks at your household's per capita household income, or PHCI, and the annual value of your home to figure out the level of need. The second key is disability verification. This one isn't about money. It's about functional need, and it's determined through a formal assessment by a registered healthcare professional. And this isn't just some vague process.
To figure out that functional need, assessors use official forms like the Functional Assessment Report. This helps them get a really clear picture of a person's specific challenges with daily tasks, like getting around or dressing themselves. It makes sure the support really matches the need. And a huge part of being able to live independently and participate in the community is having a job.
Which brings us to the other side of the coin, doesn't it? How do we help employers create an inclusive workplace? Well, the support system thinks about that too. It actually extends to employers, giving them the tools and grants they need to hire and integrate persons with disabilities.
And look at this. There's a whole suite of support for them. Things like the Open Door Program and the Job Redesign Grant, which can cover up to 90% of the cost to modify a workplace. There are even wage offsets and training grants. It's all designed to make inclusive hiring not just the right thing to do, but a smart, viable option for companies. Okay, we've laid out the map, we've found the keys. Now for maybe the most important part of all, your first step. Where do you actually go to start this journey? And here's the best part. You don't have to navigate this alone. That's the whole point. You're not supposed to figure this all out by yourself. There are people and resources out there whose entire job is to give you personalized guidance and connect you to the right help.
So here are the key starting points. For anything related to disability support, SG Enable is your first call. The Support Go Where portal is a fantastic online tool to quickly check your eligibility for different schemes. And then you have specific hotlines for things like caregiver support or help from community groups. I'd seriously recommend saving these numbers and websites.
So there you have it. We started with a maze, and now hopefully you have a much clearer map. A map with paths to boosting your career, getting help with daily life, and making things more accessible. So the final question is for you. With this map in your hands, what new path could it help you find?